You booked the guests for the show tonight, Elijah?
No, I thought you were supposed to.
What?
Oh no.
Who are we gonna find last minute with no social life and no plans on a Friday night?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
And welcome into Hot Takes with Carson and Stacks. We are back. A little bit of a hiatus there. About a month off, Elijah. We're slacking Christmas and whatnot. You were gone.
Yep.
I'm your host, Carson Anderson, as always. Elijah Stacks with me. And the return of Christian Hamlett to the show.
Wow.
This is the equivalent of Alex Jones returning to the Joe Rogan experience. Christian Hamlett back in town. Christian, how you been?
Okay. Yeah.
Just okay?
Just okay.
What's been going on in your life, man? We know you go to Virginia Tech.
It's not important.
Not important?
Not important.
Okay.
That's not true at all. You're an important guy.
Very Billie Eilish of you to be here, sir. Thank you for...
Billie Eilish. Well, I identify. He's a personal trait, personality trait.
She's
Yeah. I identify with her.
So, obviously, Christian, thank you for coming back.
Oh, yes.
You know, it's a pleasure. We had to cancel on you last week. Apologies.
That's okay.
That was my fault. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens. I went and slept instead. Was sick. It was okay.
You got sick?
So
I was a bit sick.
I also got sick last weekend. Wow.
Something going around, I think.
Yeah.
Elijah, we had to cancel because Elijah went and shot guns out in the middle of a field before. We don't have that right anymore. No impeachment, GG. But is that why you
Governor
got
Northam?
sick? Governor Northam. Is that why you got sick, Elijah, shooting guns in the rain?
It could have been. Maybe hypothermia. I don't know. I just had like a cold / sinus headache.
Nothing opens the sinuses like shooting guns.
That's right.
So we got a lot of topics to cover today. This is obviously our Star Wars Rise of Skywalker review. We had to wait for Christian to go over it. That's coming up later in the show. We got the Super Bowl champs Chiefs. We'll touch on that a little bit. Yep. Patriots dynasty over. Before we start, we'd be remiss if we didn't touch up on this a little bit, Elijah. R.I.P.
And
Kobe.
Christian, yes.
Yes. R.I.P. Kobe. It was a rough one, you know.
Yeah, no,
That's a big
crazy, really. I mean, I was going to Lowe's actually the day that he died. It was Sunday, and my roommate Andrew called me and he was like, "Yo, Kobe just died." I was like, "What are you talking about, man? That doesn't make any sense." And then he said, "Yeah, he was in a helicopter crash and died." And of course, everyone's gut reaction, I think, was saying, "Okay, this is like made up."
It's almost surreal. It's one of those things
TMZ
you never
breaks
see.
the story. Everyone's like, "Okay, it's fake." It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, every now and then a story come out of a celebrity dying, and then like, you know, 20 minutes go by and it's like, "Oh, he's alive. He's fine." It was all a hoax. This one, not so much, and it's just crazy to think about, really. You know how
surreal.
Someone like that who's almost like, you know, in our minds like an idol, like a god almost. Like he's just like that, you know, memorable to our childhood, and to like the sports world. To die like that unexpectedly at 41, I believe is how old he was. However old he was. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So yeah. And honestly, I wasn't a huge basketball fan. I still really am not a big basketball fan, like NBA wise. But still, everyone knows Kobe. He's a legend. So it's very tragic.
Very sad. Thoughts and prayers go out to the Bryant family.
Absolutely. And also his daughter died.
Yes, very sad. Very sad.
And then, you know, of course, there were 7 others, including the pilots. So like, sad for everybody. So never good. But yeah, it's just hard to believe.
So just wanted to touch up on that before the show started. We got to give a congratulations, Elijah. Winner of the BBC Big Believers in Christ Fantasy Football League, Tyler Wolf. I'm going to give a hand to you. Defeated me in the championship game. We got the trophy right here. I took some clips to show off the trophy. Yep. You know, there it is, all pristine and nice. We got the names engraved on the side.
Shout out Coco Tisco for buying that for us.
Yes, wow. Notable names missing from the trophy are Joe Coltisco, Luke Martin, the brutal Zach Ertz, last-second touchdown, Simon Haynes, who failed to make the playoffs this year, and fortunate newcomer Christian Hamlett, also not on the trophy.
Well, only my first year.
Yes, wow.
And finished 3rd in regular season. Not too
shabby.
Not too shabby
for first showing. I'm still upset because I got knocked off by the 8th seed when I was number 1 seed.
I will note that literally all of my running backs decided to just give up, and like I had to rely on Ronald Jones and Bo Scarborough to take me home.
Great guys.
Couldn't be me. Great drafting this year for the running backs. Wow.
I believe you beat me first time around. What was by point 1 or something?
A win's a win.
A win's a win. You're right.
Yeah. We all lost in the end, so it doesn't matter.
Except for Tyler, who won.
So
we want to congratulate him, and in honor of this, I have acquired this Redskins sign for $1 at Lowe's, and we are going to hang it up here in studio in honor of Tyler Wolf's big win.
hey, buddy, come to town, get the trophy.
Yes.
Get the plaque here. And
the trophy will be held at Commissioner Stack's house until I have relinquished the duty of watching over it. So Elijah, keep it safe
It is a big burden.
until I come back and get it next year.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
Okay,
I would like to
That's
apologize.
some confidence.
I'd like to
right there.
apologize to the Hot Takes family. You know, I failed you. I represented the Hot Takes name and lost in the championship
One half
game.
Hot Takes.
One half Hot
I
Takes.
don't know if anyone wanted to see you win.
I don't
think
know.
you probably did.
I did, yes.
Oh.
But I'm glad Tyler Wolf won. You know, great guy. Drafted Antonio Brown second round, who I'm also not a fan of.
No
but-
dynasties in the
No
the
dynasties.
BBC league. No dynasties.
But yeah, so
yeah.
tune in next year, see who wins. All right.
That's right.
So other football news: Eli Manning, the GOAT of New York, retires. Career record of 116 and 116. You can't make this up, folks.
I think it was 117.
Yeah, I thought it was
117 and 117.
Get your stats right, man.
Wow, fire me. So Elijah, you no longer have to face him in your division. How you feeling?
Okay, well, actually pretty good. You know, I don't care. He wasn't starting anyway, so what does it matter for one thing? But also, on the other hand, I feel kind of bad because he was not very good anymore. So playing him was actually quite the treat because he was not very intimidating to face. So,
Hall of Famer?
I don't think so.
Oh, I think so.
Okay. Well, I think
he was two-time Super Bowl
I think
MVP.
we've established that you're a little bit more lenient with your throwing around the Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
You just say as long as they start for a team for like 10 years.
No, I
can-
think that
they
makes
can
you
get
a Hall of Fame contender. Because who could you?
Okay.
Rivers is a Hall of
You
Famer.
think Philip Rivers
Yes,
is a
Philip
Hall of
Rivers
Fame?
is a Hall of Famer.
He hasn't even been an MVP of the league or anything. Like,
But he's consistent
Thank you,
and
Christian.
he's
That's
good.
kind of my point of why
He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
how is he a Hall of Famer?
Because he is. What do you mean? I can pull up Elijah talk for a second. I'm pulling up the Rivers
I would
stats.
not
Okay, so
bet
let
on.
me just explain why I don't really view Eli Manning as a Hall of Famer. I think he probably get in. I don't think he necessarily should be because yes, he has 2 rings, but at least one of them was not really him. It was more his defense playing really hot against Tom Brady. So just take one off the board. He has 1 ring. He's like we mentioned. He's 500 for his career exactly. So like, it's not like he was a dominant winning quarterback for his entire career. Let me think.
He's top 5 in passing yards and passing
what is that?
touchdowns. I'm pretty sure.
If you play for 20 years, you're gonna have.
Jameis
You have to
Winston
be good to
Jameis
play.
Winston was the passing yard leader this season.
Jameis Winston
What does
isn't going to
tell
do
you?
that again. Philip Rivers has 59,000 career passing yards, 397 touchdowns.
Are you talking about Eli Manning right now or Philip Rivers?
Philip Rivers.
Okay, I'm talking about Eli Manning right now.
Okay,
This is
well-
why-
Sorry, I mentioned Philip Rivers. I got him off track.
Okay, so like I said, 1 Super Bowl really was not really like anything he did, and then 500 for his entire career. I don't think you could ever really say
57,000 yards.
For
And he had
Eli
the
Manning?
longest active starting streak in the history of the NFL.
Till Ben McAdoo
that's
ruined it.
amazing.
Yes, Ben
That's
McAdoo
amazing.
did
Wow.
ruin it.
Still, I don't. What is that supposed to mean to me? Like, why does that make you Hall of Fame?
He's just a Hall of... Okay,
Okay. I'm going off what I was trying to say in the beginning anyway. And then, okay, if you think back of like the top quarterbacks of the past 20 years, is he top 5 for you?
last 20 years?
Yeah, because that's how long he's played. When did he come out? Like 2000.
Brady, Manning, Breeze. No, he's not. But
Okay, okay.
you don't have to be top 5 to be a Hall of
I
Fame
don't
quarterback.
know. Okay, I just don't. Okay, I think he was going to get in.
And
because
Rivers has more yards
I
and
feel like,
touchdowns
I feel like his
than him.
name alone. would
His
just,
name is Manning.
Yeah.
His brother's gonna
Two-time
be
Super
in
Bowl
there.
champ. Defeated
I
the
don't
New England
care.
Patriots.
Yeah, but like I said, that's
the
not
helmet
really,
catch.
Really his fault.
Wow.
And I don't know. I just don't think he was ever like whenever we think back, in 40 years from now about the 2010s, will you be able to tell the story of the NFL and not mention Eli Manning? I think yes, because he wasn't.
No, he defeated the undefeated New England
wasn't
Patriots.
I will only remember
He
him
won
that-
2
that
Super Bowls to
helmet.
be the undefeated New England Patriots. You will have to mention him.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I will
okay,
remember
yeah,
the helmet catch. That's
He
about
he
it.
beat the Patriots twice. Great job. Was it really all his fault? He won. Did he single-handedly beat them? Or was it his team around him playing really well?
So are you saying the
making
only
clutch
Tom
plays?
Brady then is...
No, that's not what I'm saying. He's the only Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm just saying I don't necessarily think the two Super Bowl wins are the only reason he should be going in.
Okay, and when I say starting for a franchise for 10 years...
Okay, so he has 2 rings. What about his 500 record for his entire career?
That's fine. His team... Have you seen his roster the last few years? It's been atrocious.
Why? Okay, what's your point?
Okay,
it's not like
I've
the
already said
Patriots always
Rivers.
have a
Do you
great
think
team.
Rivers is a Hall of Famer?
I have trouble saying yes.
Do you think Big Ben's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I would
Okay,
say
what's
Big
it? He's
Ben's-
got 2 rings too.
I think you. Okay, I don't base it off just of rings. I think about was he ever like a top 5 quarterback? Eli Manning, was he ever top 5 at any point in his career ever?
No, but I mean,
Okay, I think
he also
I
played
think-
in the same era
I
as 3
think-
of the best quarterbacks of all time.
I think Roethlisberger was. I think at one point
Yes, Big Ben still is.
He could be top 5.
Don't forget how he
Not
started
anymore.
his career. He threw a tantrum because he got drafted by the Chargers.
Irrelevant.
So
Won it out. Want it out quickly.
Vex it.
I don't care about that much. Like, if they put him in, I'm not going to be like throwing a fit about it. But I don't know. If it was me deciding casting a vote, I would say no. But I'm cool if he goes in. I don't really care that much. Put Romo in. Wow.
How long has Cam been the starter? Has he been a starter for 10 years?
No.
It's been since
Exactly. So he started doing bad, not the starter for 10 years. Flacco's the one I'll give you. Flacco's probably not a Hall of Famer. But
do you think Cam Newton's going in?
yes.
You said that to me like years ago. You said
I
just
think
because
he'll
of his
go in
rushing
because
record.
He's the all-time rushing
He revolutionized
quarterback.
like the nature of a dual threat quarterback, almost like Michael Vick did.
Yes.
So I think that reason he might go in. But I don't think that like off his resume, like in terms of like his quarterback play, that's why Cam Newton's going in. So I don't know.
He might be the starter next year, Christian. We'll get to that later.
If they put Eli Manning in, I'm okay with it. But I would say I would vote no if I had to vote. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll vote yes. You're welcome, Dave Stewart.
Shout out Dave.
Dave might have something to say with you about Elijah.
I'm sure he would because I respect he's a diehard Giants fan. So
Is Romo a Hall of Famer? I think Romo's a Hall of Famer.
For broadcasting.
I love Romo, and I think if he could have had a ring,
I agree
I
with
think
that
would have really strengthened his case. I think you could argue that, like, honestly, probably not. I don't think Romo could be argued in.
Isn't he about to get like a huge contract from like
apparently
ESPN
they're
or something?
going to offer like the highest paid announcer deal ever in the history of sports. So, but he's also really good. Maybe if he keeps doing that for like 20 years, he could go into like the contributor category.
Jim Nantz?
But I don't know. I love Romo. I think he had a great career, but I don't know if he's Hall of Fame either. If Manning's not, I don't really see how Romo could be in. So I'm sticking to my guns. I don't think Romo should be in there either.
Wow. Well, 5 years from now, we'll look back on this minimally watched podcast and tell you you're wrong, Elijah.
No, I know I'm going to be wrong because it's a Manning. They're going to put him in.
Oh yeah,
and he beat.
Is the dad in?
He beat Archie. I don't think so. Is he? Yeah, I don't know. Look it up. And like I said, people are going to mention that he beat Tom Brady twice. The Dynasty beat him twice, and because he's a Manning, they're going to be okay, put him in. But when you think about like in 20 years from now, whenever we talk about the 2010s, names that are come up are going to be Brady, Manning, Roethlisberger, Breeze, and pick someone. I don't know. I'm talking about
Manning. I pick Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, so not Eli Manning, but I don't know. I think he'll get in there on his family name. And
has Peyton Manning been inducted yet?
No, he hasn't.
He's not eligible yet.
I think it's like a 5
You have to wait 5 years after.
I think it'll be this year. He's eligible.
Yeah.
He will be first ballot, no question.
Shout out Troy Polamalu, my favorite player of all time.
I heard that
they snubbed Drew Pearson. Not a fan of the Hall of Fame committee.
Not aware who that is.
Drew Pearson is a receiver for the Cowboys. He's the only player.
Oh, I've seen that from the 1972 All-Pro team.
Of any all-decade team, he's the only player to not be a Hall of Fame.
Why don't they put him in?
Because they want to give I think because they had 3 Cowboys this year. Jimmy Johnson, Cliff Harris, and I'm blanking on who else it was off the top of my head. The point is they're going to put 4. They're thinking about putting. Well, maybe it was just 3. They didn't want to put a bunch of Cowboys in the Hall of Fame this year.
Des Bryant.
Maybe on the comeback. We'll see. But Drew Pearson should be in there. I think he'll get there next year. Speaking of snubs.
The Steelers defense hasn't been good since Troy Polamalu. Well, it's good now. But I miss Troy Polamalu a lot. He's my favorite player of all time.
I love Troy Polamalu.
You see him jumping over the line pre-huddle. Great guy. Great hair.
All you saw was the hair. It's great.
One of my favorite plays of all time, AFC Championship game. Flacco, not a Hall of Famer, bombs it down the field. Picked off. Pick 6. Need a pick 6 right here. Troy Polamalu takes it back to the house. Sends us to the Super Bowl. I forget if that's the one we lost to the Packers, but great moment in my life.
I don't know. So
the one where he caught off the ground. I remember all these very vividly.
Is Nick Foles a Hall of Fame quarterback, do you think?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
The Carson criteria. It's a good signal, not a definite. Good signal if you start in the same place for 10 plus years. It's a good signal. Flacco's an exception.
So they're a franchise QB.
Yes, for most franchise QBs, because you have to be pretty good to start in somewhere for 10 plus years. Fitzpatrick, look, he started everywhere 10 plus years, not in the same place. It's different.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Has he been 10 years? I don't think he has. See, it's where you get to be a long time, not a Hall of Famer. You fall off. He's going to be in New England next year. You watch. Alex Jones, conspiracy theory. Andy Dalton is going to New England.
Oh, my God.
It's not really a conspiracy theory. That's just heavily rumored.
Conspiracy theory.
That's been heavily rumored all over.
We'll see about that.
We'll get to that later.
Because the Pats cannot get over their love for Tom Brady, who can't move anymore.
Kraft's love.
Totally inept. He can't throw anymore. He's not very good. Not a big Tom Brady guy.
You want to talk about them? You want to talk? We can get to.
We can go.
We'll congratulate the Chiefs real quick. Chiefs Super Bowl champs. Congratulations.
How did we like the game, boys?
It was way better than last year.
I agree with that 100%.
I'll be honest. I was nursing a concussion, so I fell asleep.
What did you do?
CTE.
It's not important. Not. We'll get to that off camera.
We'll talk
off
camera
camera
for sure. I actually really liked the game. Obviously, I was sick in my bed, so I was watching it alone. Sad.
R.I.P.
Coronavirus. But it was good.
Coronavirus confirmed.
And, I gotta say, people are giving Shanahan a lot of crap right now because of the whole way he handled the end of the first half.
Run the ball.
And also, yes, how late game he wasn't running the ball. Okay, you would think after losing to the Patriots 28-3, when he had a 28-3 lead and still losing to the Patriots, you would know milk the clock, run the ball. And that's what I got to do.
And that's all San Francisco did all year was run the ball. And the one time they're supposed to.
Okay, and, I think it's indicative of how much they don't trust Jimmy G because in the game before this...
I don't know. He had good stats, though. He did throw 18 for 20.
But I don't think instinctively Shanahan trusts Jimmy G because in the game against the Packers, he threw 8 times.
To be fair, they were up a lot. They were up a lot in that, too.
But that's because
but the point is,
Mostert had like 220 yards.
What's the expression, dance with the gal that brung you, whatever it is, whatever that phrase is. What made them good this year
Christian
on
dances
offense
with all the gals.
Was good job, Christian. What made them good this year was their run game. Okay, especially in the playoffs, they were riding that horse. They were doing really good. And then whenever they had a lead, a 10-point lead, they tried to throw it with Jimmy G, who they didn't obviously trust because in the game before that they let him throw 11 times. That's like abysmal for a quarterback, throw 11 times. I know they didn't have to, but still, that means he doesn't trust him.
He overthrew someone by like
Emmanuel Sanders, yes.
Yes, like 15 yards.
And he barely, just not good. Yeah. Not a big Jimmy G guy.
Kendall Fuller, game-ending interception.
But
Hokie.
The
Gokies.
The point I was going to make is that for 3 quarters, San Francisco dominated that game. Especially defensively. Like, they were getting after Patrick Mahomes. He didn't look sharp, didn't look great. And I thought, wow, they're actually about to win this game against Patrick Mahomes. And then... what was I thinking, boys? Because they've overcome double-digit deficits in all 3 of their playoff games they played. That's crazy. And so, obviously, the last 10 minutes of the game, Patty Mahomes took over. Great game. Loved it. Okay, do you think that Mahomes should have been MVP, though?
Yes.
No.
What about
Damian Williams?
Who played better the entire game?
Mahomes. I
know Mahomes made the critical plays at the end.
Mahomes, what? He went for what, like 11 for 17 or something, fourth quarter? I forgot. But I saw the stats.
But like I said, for 3 quarters before that, the only thing that was really working was Williams.
2 interceptions.
What do you want from him?
The last person to catch a TD in the Super Bowl was Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan was the last wide receiver to score a touchdown. I read that stat today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. The point being...
I'm just saying, like, he didn't throw...
Did Garoppolo not throw one to it?
No, there was no wide receiver that caught one.
He threw it to Utsick, the fullback.
Look, you guys had Hogan. Why didn't he score touchdowns for you?
He was on IR for, like, most of the season.
Is it because of his eyes? Crazy eyes?
Crazy eyes.
The point being, I think Mahomes played well, but I think it should have been Williams for MVP. But that's neither here nor there. We all know that the fact that Mahomes is the face of the league, so they're obviously to give it to him regardless. But great game, though. Really enjoyed it. Better than the Patriots, because, that would have been a snooze fest.
So more of what I take away from this game is not as much because in-depth analysis of the game isn't what we're famous for. Our 52 subscribers, we're famous for our speculation of the future
and our stupid opinions. Yes.
So what does this game tell us? Mahomes is the face of the league for the next 10 plus years.
100%.
Mahomes and Andy Reid is a duo to be trifled with.
Let's get a big clap for Andy Reid, though.
Great guy. Said he's going to go get a cheeseburger after the game.
He's been coaching for 20-something years and finally got his ring. I'm very proud of him. I used to hate it, but he's the Eagles coach, but now I don't mind him. So.
OG quote of the Super Bowl. They asked him if he spent the night with the trophy. He said he spent the night with his wife.
Trophy wife.
Trophy wife. Look, what a guy. So that duo will be back in the Super Bowl. That is an offense not to be messed with.
I think next year we should have the Super Bowl of the big fat coaches, Mike McCarthy and
Andy Reid. Yes. Whoa, are you shaming?
Wait. No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying. They're big boys. They're big boys.
Wait, how do you feel about the Mike McCarthy hire?
We'll get to it later.
Okay.
Follow the script.
Spent the night at Jerry's house.
I did not see the script.
In the hotel. In the hotel.
Yes.
So what else does this tell me? Niners also are going to be good for the next their window is open. These two teams' windows are both very open. The 49ers defense, I thought the 49ers were going to win this game, and really they were on track to win this game. Yeah. All they do is run the ball out. I saw some stat, Shanahan has been outscored in the third quarter of the Super Bowl, like 52-0 or something crazy like that. So he just run the ball. Just it got you there, run the ball.
So maybe we're all a little bit too eager to call him elite coach.
I think he's a very good coach.
I think he's very good. Elite, though, I'm not going to call him that because...
I might call him elite.
He blew a 23 lead Okay, obviously he wasn't the head coach in Atlanta, but he was the offensive coordinator. So he blew that, and then he blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl. So, like, still, I mean, not great for the record.
I don't blame him.
But, you know, I think he'll be good. He'll be back eventually. The thing about it is, though, okay, last year they were playing on, like, a fourth-place schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're playing on the first-place schedule. So it gets tougher. Success, you know.
But that roster,
it breeds a tougher road for you.
Jimmy G is good. I know you're not a huge Jimmy G guy. I think Jimmy G is a top 15.
I just think for them to really be like this continual, every year competitive for this title, they have to either have Jimmy G take the next step to where Shanahan trusts him more, because I think you could see where he didn't really trust him a whole lot in the playoffs, and then or they have to get someone else.
Well, he was quoted saying that they wouldn't have even made it to the Super Bowl without Jimmy G.
Yeah, I think Jimmy G's a top 10,
he can
15
say whatever he wants to.
Top 15.
He's not going to go out there and publicly shame his quarterback, who he has to have confidence.
Shame.
Do the Pats, regret trading away Jimmy G?
I'm going to get
that. Almost made Belichick leave.
Yes.
Can't move anymore. Tom Brady, what a garbage quarterback.
The Patriots would have been in the Super Bowl this year if they kept Jimmy G.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And it was Robert Kraft. I know he has a huge man crush on Tom Brady and everything, but Belichick had the future set up. Even with Brissett, they would have been better.
I was talking to a guy at Lowe's, actually, about the Patriots. He's a Patriots fan, and I said, hey, man, do you regret trading Jimmy G away and keeping Tom Brady? He said, honestly, yeah, I do.
Who is this?
I forgot his name. He doesn't work there. It's just someone I met there. And
welcome to the team, by the way.
Yeah.
Elijah has joined the night team. Yeah, welcome to the team.
I got 2 jobs now. Wow, thank you. Making a lot of money. Wow. Hard work. Anyway, point being, he said, yeah, I do kind of regret it. But at the time, he said, if we had traded Brady, people would have rioted in the streets because you don't get rid of Tom Brady. And I was like, that's the problem.
You don't get rid of him, but I know Brady's got this thing about playing until he's 45. He probably should have retired.
Yes, 100%. He's not good anymore. That's the thing. People forget, like, whenever I say he's not good, people are like, oh, how can you say he has, like, 6 rings? I'm not talking about 2008 Tom Brady. I'm talking about 2020 Tom Brady. He's not good anymore. Get him out.
Teams will still pursue him, though.
We'll talk about it later. Oh, actually, we can just go to right now, actually, real quick. Down here, number 8.
Wow, 0.8. Skip ahead.
I did not get these notes beforehand, so I did not know the order.
Just wing it.
I apologize.
No, you're good. Okay, I saw a report come on my phone. Apparently, the Pats are thinking about paying him $30 million a year to come back.
Well, he's not giving that hometown discount anymore, right?
No, because he wants to make all the money as he can before he retires. But the point being is they're paying him that much. That's like top 5 money for a quarterback right now. For what?
You're going to disagree with me on this. It's a legacy contract.
They shouldn't be given to him, though.
I think if he's giving you 6 Super Bowls, it's Kraft. If I'm Belichick, I would say, okay, time for him to go. Kraft loves Tom Brady more than anything. And if you're going to keep him, he won you 6 Super Bowl rings. I'm not going to negotiate the man down.
I also want to make this point, too. What's been the criticism of Tom Brady or the Patriots teams over the past, maybe?
He kisses his son on the lips.
Yeah, there is that. That's one. Okay, that's 1A. 1B is they always say he has no talent around him. He has no receivers, no running backs, no linemen to keep him upright. If you're going to pay him $30 million a year for the next 2 years, whatever how long the contract would be, that means that's less money to pay for top talent at receiver or top talent at running back or lineman.
It is true.
Tight end.
And Sony Michel is quite bad.
And I think, the fact that now Gronk's gone.
He had a good rookie.
And they obviously didn't have Antonio Brown for more than a game. So, that just proves you, the team barely functioned without having Gronk or, a really good receiver out there. And so he needs talent around him. It's quite selfish for him to be like, okay, give me all this money, which consumes a good portion of your cap space, and therefore you don't have anything else around you to make you look good. So it's one of the things if you're going to do that to him, that's fine. I guess it's your money.
They'll still be functional with him, though. It's not like they're inept.
Were they functional this year?
Their division sucks. They'll win the division every year still. Their defense is super
good.
The Bills are on the rise.
Dolphins, wow. Yes. Got 3 first-round picks.
It's magic.
Wow. The point being is I don't think they should pay him much money, but they're going to because of a Pats deal.
I think that if they would have kept Jimmy G, they would have gotten to the AFC Championship game with Jimmy G. And I think, if Antonio Brown wouldn't have been a clown, Antonio Brown.
Yeah, that's a whole different roster right there. That's different because you have someone who can actually move in the pocket and get out of the pocket if he has to. Tom Brady can't move anymore. He's very quick to throw the ball away if he feels pressure. He can't get away from it.
They stacked their wins at the beginning of the season against awful teams. Everybody 8-0, blah, blah, blah.
And also, I'm just tired of seeing Pats fans on Twitter and stuff talking about how Tom Brady still got
it. I'm putting you on notice. You're about to get unfollowed. I don't want to see any more of this. Look at this pristine throw by Tom Brady in Super Bowl, 52? I don't care.
First off, that throw happens at least 20 times a game or 20 times a week in normal NFL weeks. So that just happens. So get over that throw. But I saw a tweet from someone, I don't know who she is, but I guess she's Pat's fan, and she said, It was after the Packers 49ers playoff game, and obviously that game Packers lost pretty handily. And someone said, like, tweeted out, no one should ever compare Tom Brady to Aaron Rodgers again. And I was like, that's so ignorant. Because how is it Rodgers' fault that the defense of the Packers couldn't stop anything?
That was
they couldn't stop anything. Mostert had like 300 yards almost.
4 touchdowns.
What can Rodgers do about that? The fact that basically his entire playoff history, Brady's had really good defenses that held teams to like less than 20 points on average. I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but they didn't score a lot of points in the games he won. Rodgers has to overcome a defense which has never been good for him, really. And I think it's ignorant. And Pats fans are ignorant. I can't help it. They're just ignorant. I can't.
I want to move on to some fan mail here, Elijah.
Okay.
To be fair to the person who sent this in, our good friend Joseph Coltisco.
Hey, go.
Elijah is going to rip into this, I know, but to be fair, he sent this in at the end of the regular season when the Packers just can't clinch the AFC North. Joseph Coltisco sends in, after winning the NFC North in prime time and possibly able to clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC, they did not, they got the second.
Did not. Yep.
Is Elijah Stacks sold on the Packers yet? Go Pack Go. P.S. How about them Cowboys? Your love monkey, Co. To be fair to Co, obviously he sent this in when they were at a high, not when they were getting destroyed by the 49ers in the championship game. Elijah, I'm going to let you go in on this first.
I don't know how much to say about it, honestly.
Are you sold on the Packers?
What? Okay, I said I think week 4, whenever the Cowboys played them, I said, go back and listen to it on the show. I said I did not believe that this Packers team was for real. I said that in week 4. And then they showed it to me whenever they got, quite frankly, their butts kicked by the 49ers in the championship game.
Both times. They played them once and got destroyed. They had a second time to play them, and the exact same thing happened.
Rodgers like, oh, we'll be ready next time for the...
he said, we'll see you again.
You weren't. So, I think I was vindicated, really, because I was catching heat.
Were you acquitted?
I was acquitted, yes. Total acquittal. I was taking flack people all year. I was like, oh, you don't believe the Packers? Oh, you're just a hater, man. You're just a hater. Oh, you're just bitter because they beat the Cowboys. I stand, acquitted.
I stand acquitted.
I think that the Packers did upgrade their defense a lot. I understand they allowed a lot of points. That was their problem. But they also got a lot of sacks. So it was a very... You call the Steelers what did you call them, a beneficial defense or something? Opportunity-based. Opportunistic. The Packers defense is kind of like studded kind of to where it's like they'll get a lot of stats, but they're also going to allow a lot of points. They need to tighten up their defense.
Well, they can't win that way. That just proved it.
They did have a lot of sacks. That one dude, Preston Smith, had a good amount of sacks this season.
Again,
is that the one that got snubbed?
No, that's Zadarius Smith.
Zadarius.
The brother Smith. Wow.
Oh.
I don't care. I saw in week 4 against the Cowboys a team that they may look good, like because you think, oh, they have a lot of sacks. But what is that? What is this? You have a lot of sacks. What does it matter? Who led the league in sacks, Carson?
That guy you told me. I forget his name.
I meant team wise.
I know.
Was it the Steelers? The Steelers.
If they didn't lead, they were at least top 5 for sure.
I think they had.
I think Panthers were up there too.
We had 53. They had 54. I think. Like one.
What were their records?
Yeah, it was wild.
Okay, we didn't have a quarterback.
Okay, but my point. Okay. Let's talk about the Panthers then. They
also didn't have a quarterback.
They had someone who could function, kind of.
I don't know.
They were like what, 5-11? What were the Panthers?
5-11.
I think 5.
What were the Steelers?
8-8.
Yeah, because we lost like that last 8 games of the season.
You get a bunch of sacks. Who cares? Doesn't mean you have a good record.
Yeah.
So also if you look at the Packers, I don't have the splits on it right now, but I'm fairly sure they were barely beating teams anyway. They barely beat the Redskins, for example. Hey, look up there. They barely beat the Redskins. Wow. I just knew they were frauds from the beginning, and
they made it to the NFC Championship game. They're not frauds.
Who did they play again in the wild card or the divisional round?
The Seahawks. They beat the Seahawks. Who I thought the Seahawks were better than them. I picked the Seahawks.
Well, the Seahawks probably would have beat them had they not lost their entire running back core.
I don't know. Marshawn Lynch. Good to see him come back.
But he's
beast mode.
Not as good as he once was.
Yeah.
The point, I just didn't think they were that good. The defense, I saw weakness in it. I didn't think, and this is the problem. Like I said earlier, the fact that the defense couldn't stop, anything. Let Mostert run for like 300 yards in the championship game for the NFC. how can Rodgers overcome that? What do you want him to do? So like they need to have defensive help.
Yes.
And I just saw earlier on, I said if the defense plays like this the entire year, in the playoffs especially, they are not going to win. And I was.
But also the 49ers were very good. The 49ers, their defense was good enough to like hold Rodgers down for most of the game, and then their defense just gave up too many points to where they could run the clock out. So I still think Aaron Rodgers is one of the. I'd probably say Aaron Rodgers is the best QB in the league. So no, Mahomes and him. But
285 rushing yards.
Yes, brutal. They need to tighten that up. And then, Christian's buddy Aaron Jones had a great year. I think that next year they'll be back, and I think maybe not next year. I think they'll be contenders. I think they'll be contenders next year.
What the heck?
The Vikings look really good in their division. The Bears, we'll see. The defense, they
got to get
tighten
over
up.
it.
Trubisky needs to take a step forward, or he's gone next year.
Rumor has it they're going to try to get Mariota.
I think I'd stick with Trubisky, I think, over him.
No, I don't think they're going to start Mariota. I think they want veteran help to just somehow.
I don't know if Mariota's the veteran help.
I don't know.
He lost his job to Tannehill, so. No,
Comeback player of the year.
Should have been Travis Frederick, whatever. Anyway.
We'll get there.
I forgot what I was going to say now, off the top of my head. So I know this is like, hindsight 2020. But if you would ask me this question, before they played against the 49ers, I would have said the same thing I said 5 seconds ago, is I don't believe that they're really that for real. If they get more help in the defense,
they still have Aaron Rodgers, though. That makes them contenders.
And that's why I guess they are contenders in my mind. Like they have what I think is the best quarterback over the past.
But how old is Aaron Rodgers?
15, 20 years.
That's the one we forgot when you said top 50.
There you go, Rodgers.
What do you say? How old is he?
Yeah,
like 30, 36?
37, something like that. He's getting
killer mustache.
Career too.
He's getting up there.
But look at this. QBs are playing longer now. We got Breeze. I didn't even know he was 41. We got
a free agent. Wow.
Wow, they'll resign him because he's playing top tier still. He's not Brady.
They don't want to start Taysom Hill.
He's good too. Bridgewater.
Bridgewater?
They didn't even say they want to even put Bridgewater in. They want to use Taysom Hill as the franchise QB.
Really?
Yeah. Did you not see that?
That's ridiculous.
Okay. I think he's more of a
Taysom
utility
Hill is
player.
really fun as a gadget player. If you give him in like a small dosage of plays,
that's who they want as like
really
the franchise QB.
I think
they should go Bridgewater. Even though I think Bridgewater, I heard somewhere he could get paid a lot of money if he goes somewhere this offseason.
I think he will get paid if he goes somewhere else. But I think really because they're not picking near top of the draft, they should. But I think they need to look for a younger guy, top talent out of college for the future, because I think the Breeze era is slowly coming to an end. I don't know if Bridgewater.
But see, they've built around him well. Like with Brady, they didn't build around him. Breeze has a good defense. He has Alvin Kamara. He has Michael Thomas.
Jeez,
whoever the tight end is,
Cook.
Yeah,
he's good. I don't know what we're arguing here exactly, but
Saints are good. So yeah,
Taysom Hill.
We've
if you want to have Taysom Hill as your starting QB, that's foolish. He's good as a gadget guy, but he's not a starter.
So I think the Packers will still be contenders next year, but they got to go through the Niners, who look like they could get back to the Super Bowl easy. The Seahawks are good. The Saints are good. Those to me are
the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
We'll go into the Cowboys right now. That's a good segue, Elijah. The Cowboys fired Jason Garrett. Very sad. They got Mike McCarthy led the team. Will he lead the team to the promised land after spending the night at Jerry's house?
Correction to the story. He didn't sleep at his house.
They had a slumber party.
We all know Jerry's rich.
Sources confirmed.
We know Jerry's rich. He owns a hotel, and Mike stayed there. So it wasn't his house. It was a hotel
cute.
That Jerry owns.
It is cute.
Okay, so my opinion of the Mike McCarthy hire is pretty simple. I like it for the reason of we have a team right now which is poised to be serious contenders for the playoffs and for potentially, title runs. And so I think by hiring a coach who has experience, who has won the Lombardi before, I think it's a win now move. They didn't want to take a risk on hiring, like a Urban Meyer or Lincoln Riley, something like that. Someone who doesn't have head coaching experience in the NFL, because we're not rebuilding. We're trying to win now. We need to add a few more pieces here and there, re-sign some guys, and I think we can be contenders for the next 5 years if we play our cards right.
I do think this was the best hire you guys could have gone with, because you guys' roster is more suited for competing now.
Yeah.
Whether or not the team chooses to do that, to be determined. But Mike McCarthy is someone who's won a Super Bowl. It's better to get someone experienced in there than a first-time head coach or a college coach who first-time coaching in the NFL, regardless of who they are.
And so that's why whenever I figured out, everyone kind of knew Garrett was out the door at this point, and that was okay. I was like, if we're gonna do that, that's fine. I just don't want to have someone stupid come in. But I was kind of excited about maybe the Bieniemy guy from Kansas City or the defensive coordinator.
I thought McDaniels might have been
the offensive coordinator at Baltimore where McDaniels. I was like, those are cool. Lincoln Riley I'd be fine with if we went that route.
I thought you didn't like Lincoln Riley. I think we can bring up the tape where you said, I don't want none of that after he lost in the college football playoff.
I didn't. But if we'd hired him, I would have been like super upset about it. Because like honestly, I wasn't a fan of Mike McCarthy at first. Because his name was getting floated around. I was like,
You were a big
please.
Garrett guy.
I was like, please, not Mike McCarthy. I didn't mind Garrett. I didn't think it was all his fault. I think he got too much flack for it. So I was okay with him. He's gone.
Yeah, soft clap.
He's off to New York now. Anyway,
Yes.
Second. But then, on reflection of after they hired Mike McCarthy, I was like, wow, this is actually probably the best move we could have made. Well, like I said, if we were like a 4-12 team last year and we didn't have anything that I thought we could build off of, I'd have said, clear it out, get someone in here who's new who can build a team how he wants to build it. But we're not that situation right now. We're not, 4-12. We're not the Redskins, is my point. So.
Hey, I think the Redskins have made some good moves.
They have made some good moves.
They got Ronnie Rivers, who that was one of the guys I thought you guys should have got. Ronnie Rivers, I think that's a big name to get. Jack Del Rio, defensive coordinator, and Bruce Allen out, which was a big problem for them.
That's probably the big move they made.
Tyler Wolf, if you're listening, bright things are to come.
Yes. But yes, Mike McCarthy I'm cool with.
Might be getting Greg Olsen.
Yes, the Redskins also looking at Greg Olsen, which I think are some big moves for them. They're going in the right direction.
Getting another old
Reunite
tight end.
him with Ronnie Rivers.
They're just getting another old tight end.
Jason Witten.
You guys could get him, and you guys could combine them to have one half.
Witten's not under contract right now, so
Oof.
may not come back next year.
Oof.
But he wants to keep playing apparently, so we'll see where he goes.
So I like the moves the Redskins are making. I like the Cowboys hire. The Giants did get your man Jason Garrett, offensive coordinator.
They also got Freddie Kitchens.
Oh, that's
And they got Joe Judge.
yeah, that's a random one. I don't understand that one, but
That dude's a fiery dude. I saw his interview. He's like, I know you guys are all wondering who I am. Well, let me tell you. And I just didn't listen after that. So interesting story. Sorry.
will the Giants be contenders next year? I think they got a good roster. I like Saquon, Danny Dimes, Jason Garrett.
I don't know. The Joe Judge move kind of confuses me. Not because I don't think he's gonna be good. Just who is he? You know what I mean? Like this is someone.
Well, he's a QB coach from where?
No. He was special teams coach.
Oh, I thought he was
and
QB
receiver coach from New England. And so I think the rumor go around is he was actually like a really close confidant, whatever you would say, of Belichick. I guess whenever they were having discussions on this hotline with refs and stuff, you'd often see Joe Judge right there next to Belichick. So I guess he's like a really he knows the rules really well kind of guy, technical, really smart, really like a brainiac kind of guy. But I don't know, it just came out of nowhere, and I don't know. I think it's almost kind of what you'd expect out of New York right now. Like New York's just making weird moves.
Either he'll do good or they'll get rid of him in 2 years.
But I do feel, a little like karma really came into play with the Giants getting Jason Garrett for their offensive coordinator, the Clapper. Because for years, I had to receive hate from people who were like, "Oh, Jason Garrett, the Clapper." Dave Stewart, especially the Clapper.
He does clap a lot.
And now he's on your team, so hope you enjoy him. It's gonna be fun to see how much they love him now that he's on their team. Well, he's on the Cowboys, they hate him. So interesting karma there. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, okay, you got 3 new coaches in the division. You got Peterson in Philadelphia. I think it's really at this point anybody's division.
Maybe not the Redskins.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see how they draft.
The Redskins
they're going to get
rise.
Chase Young.
They're on the rise, but I don't think they're going to get.
They're going to get Chase Young at.
They are
going
to
get
Chase Young.
That guy's
a
a menace. I hate that he's going into our division, but he's going there. And okay, think about it though. The Eagles have made the playoffs this year, but barely, and they're not really I don't think they're that solid of a team to say they're going to be hands down a favorite to win it. Cowboys, basically, you have to go with what you saw last, and what we saw last was they're inconsistent, and they couldn't beat the winning teams consistently. So
you guys probably do have the best chance to win that division.
So I wouldn't say they're shooing to win it either. The Giants, Danny Dimes year 2, Saquon, Evan Ingram. If they can get a good receiver in there, defense they can shape up, they can be contenders. And I don't know. I guess the Redskins have probably the least chance to do it, but I wouldn't count them out at this point. Everything's so new, which is you don't know what to expect anymore.
Can I pick the Giants? I want to pick the Giants. Early prediction, Giants.
That is your call. I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
But
you go with Cowboys every year.
That's what I do.
Why are you just picking the Giants just like that? Oh, the Giants.
Well,
what's your reasoning?
No team has won that division back-to-back years.
We just talked about they have a head coach that we have no idea.
Yeah, maybe he's good. We don't know. Yeah.
They have Freddie Kitchens.
Saquon, Danny Dimes.
They have Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah,
what is Freddie Kitchens? What is he on the coaching staff? What is his title?
He's a defensive coordinator, right?
He's the defensive coordinator?
Or he's the linebacker coach, right?
But wasn't before he was a head coach, he was the QB coach at Browns, right?
I think he's the offensive coordinator.
Oh,
Freddie Kitchens is awful.
Yeah, this is not... And you want them to win?
He is the tight ends coach for the...
I'm making a fun pick, Christian.
for
Fun
the
pick. Okay.
Giants. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's I can't say you're wrong. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if I was to pick odds-on favorite, it's going to be Philadelphia or Dallas, one of those two. I think if Philadelphia could stay healthier, they'd be real contenders, but they had a problem with that.
They got to get some wide receivers.
They got to get some cornerbacks for one thing.
Oh, yeah,
And they got to get some really everything on defense.
Who do they have? Orlando.
Because Fletcher Cox is not very good.
Scandrick?
Scandrick's off the team in like week 6.
He's hating on the team now.
He was right though when that
you-
Shannon Sharp special.
All right, Christian. I want to get into this Matt Rule hire here with the Panthers. So he's the
The ex-Baylor head coach.
ex-Baylor
Baylor
head
Bears.
coach. You know,
He
a lot
came from somewhere else too.
lot of scandal there. So he was 19-20 over his 3 years with the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, he only got one win. What, his first year there?
I forget. They were bad, though. He built it up into I think they were pretty good last year. A lot of concerns for the Panthers. Luke Kuechly, one of the best middle linebackers in the league, retired because I don't know if he knows how to spell his last name. Greg Olson, longtime
Who
player,
does, to be fair?
gone. Simon Haynes, very critical of that move because they don't hold on to their veteran players.
We
Smith.
might be losing James Bradbury too.
I don't know who that is.
He's a pretty. They have high hopes for him as being like a really good cornerback.
Okay. So, big question for me. How many positions can Christian McCaffrey play at one time?
All of them.
And also, is Cam the starter? Because a lot mid-season they were kind of like, we'll stick with Kyle Allen. But I mean, all of them look awful. You liked Will Greer; he stunk it up when he came in and played. So I'm thinking Cam coming back from injury, might as well see if he can give it a go one more year, and then if not, we'll see what we can do.
Here's the question. Okay, you guys have the 7th pick?
Yeah,
First pick,
we have
whatever it
7th pick. Yep,
Taking a quarterback that high?
probably.
They want to move up. They told the Bengals they want the pick because they want Burrow. But they said, no way. No way, Jose.
They have to give up
much.
I'm
trying to think of names you might have. You have access to maybe Tua.
I think Tua's going to be gone.
Justin Herbert, maybe.
I think projections was like Okuda. What I forgot. Some dude from I forgot. He was like
LSU.
I think it was LSU.
What's the position?
I forgot. It was defense, but I can't remember.
I think he's a cornerback.
James Okuda or something. I don't remember.
But I think Burrow's obviously going 1, which honestly, I'd take Tua. But because I think Tua's a better long-term play. Mm-hmm. I think Tua's going to be really special.
Why do you think Joe Burrow's not?
I think Joe Burrow is very good, but I think you get Joe Burrows in the draft fairly often, which is just a quarterback who could stand in the pocket and throw it. And he's very good. I think I'm not criticizing the Bengals. I'm not criticizing the Bengals for taking him on 1. I think Tua, though, is a player you do not get very often.
No, I don't really
Him and Trevor Lawrence are going to be long-time Q. Yes. I think that...
I'm sorry. Okay, Okuda plays at Ohio State. That's who it is.
Ohio State.
He's a cornerback, though. Remember that.
We do need a cornerback, so that would help.
Okay, so I've seen some mock drafts. You guys are taking, they say the brown guy from Auburn, the defensive tackle. But I don't know. I think if you're not... my personal opinion is I don't think Cam Newton's really the answer anymore.
I don't either, but what else are they going to do?
I don't think Matt Rule
Well, this is what I'm saying. If you're picking I think they're picking like 6 or 7, you're in the range to either trade up and get a Burrow or, pick up Tua maybe if Miami passes on that early. Because obviously Tua has the hip problem right now. So do the Panthers decide this is the year they're going to, they were 5-11 last year. They're not really in contention right now to be, in the playoffs.
We're in full rebuild.
So at this point, why not, clean the slate, pick up a nice talented QB in the first round early, and then supplement that the rest of the draft for getting, good role players for all other positions, especially offensive line especially.
Oh, yes.
Because right now you have McCaffrey, who's really good. And
he is our team.
You have DJ
the whole
Moore,
team.
You have DJ Moore, who's a solid receiver. Defense, obviously Kuechly hurts a lot, so maybe look for a linebacker in the 2nd, 3rd round. I just think at this point, this is the time to cut your losses with Cam Newton. There's no sense of beating a dead horse and just pick up a talented young quarterback who could be the future. If that's Tua or Herbert or Love or some of those guys, or if you want to go 2nd round, like maybe Fromm or whoever is going to be in the 2nd round, maybe Buckshot. Wow.
Oh, gosh.
If they don't trade away Cam, they will start him and see what he can do.
Yeah, obviously, because what else are you going to
do? I guess it doesn't hurt to keep Cam around for one more year and see how it goes.
Because he desperately wants to stay in Charlotte.
I think my opinion is he's not the answer long term.
Oh, no.
So why not just go ahead and this year decide this is the year we're picking up our quarterback. Unless you think next year you're going to be so bad you'll be in range for Trevor Lawrence. He's going number 1 overall.
Yes.
Tank for Lawrence?
Yes,
yes. He will be the first quarterback off the board, no question.
Trevor Lawrence and Christian McCaffrey together?
That'd be really good.
Yeah.
But the point is, in that case, you're accepting this year is probably not going to be that good. In fact, you're going to have to assume it won't be. because that's the only way you're going to get Trevor Lawrence.
Sorry, Christian. Sorry, Simon. Awful year incoming.
Now, if you're willing to bite
I'm
that
used
bullet,
to it by now.
if you're willing to bite the
Ever
bullet,
since 2015.
You got a Super Bowl appearance. I haven't seen the Steelers in a Super Bowl in 10 years.
Okay, but it still hurts me to think
boys,
about it.
Shut up.
Oh, God.
No.
I haven't seen the Cowboys in the Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, but mine stings still to think about it, Von Miller.
This is why you shouldn't want Cam Newton, because he saw the ball and said, yeet.
He said, that contract money.
Went away from the ball. So,
Yeah,
is he really sold out for the team and for Charlotte? I don't think so.
He's got a little cocky.
That was an MVP
cocky.
season. Wow. And then
Yeah,
he
right.
did not show up in the Super Bowl.
And
Thanks, Cam, for nothing.
Okay, anyway, I think at this point, you need to look for the future at quarterback. It's not Cam Newton, and it's going to be someone like Tua or Herbert or Love, or if you're willing to accept the fact you won't be good this year, then you can get Trevor Lawrence next year.
I'd be interested and see if we got Tua. If like Miami,
You'd have to trade up to get him. Miami's taking him.
You think
Here's
Miami's
thought-
gonna take?
Okay, you could pick up whoever you want to in the first round this year. Second round, maybe get Jalen Hurts.
I want the Steelers to take from Georgia.
I'm just throwing out some names of quarterbacks for the.
Is
I
Hurts
think
in the draft?
they need-
Yeah, I was going to
he
say,
is.
Hurts is in the draft.
He is. He's from Oklahoma. Yeah.
I like Herbert too. Maybe Steelers get him.
They need to pick up a quarterback this year, or not this year, at least next year, because Cam Newton's not the long-term answer anymore.
Well, they're for
I'm
sure
getting
going to pick up.
Oh, we got a FaceTime. Father. Hello.
From my dad. Sorry, I can't talk right now, Dad.
Friend of the show. Loyal viewer. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
All right, so Browns also got Stefanski. I don't think that's okay. I mean, do you think they should have looked at Garrett maybe?
I said they should look at Garrett because if one thing that Garrett does well, it is establish order and have a vision for the team. And so I think he would have been good for a franchise which you described as dysfunctional and can't seem to get their path straight.
Can anyone
I
truly
think-
straighten them though?
No, they're the most dysfunctional
I think
franchise.
Garrett could have done it because he's all about order, is all about making sure people are there, and he's very routine, and that's what he does well.
I think
And so
Garrett was the hire for them too.
I think Garrett would have been a great choice for them. They wouldn't have been very good. I don't think he would have been like a contender for like playoffs right now, but he would have gotten their heads on straight, and then from there it could have been a bouncing pad.
How about the Baker Mayfield
to-
regression? Everybody thought he was going to be great.
Stop
A lot of interceptions.
sophomore slump happens to a lot of players.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes?
I'm not worried about it. He's an exception.
Did not happen to McCaffrey either. McCaffrey had a better year.
He's a running
running
back.
back. He beat the Madden curse. Well.
Wow. Browns too is functional.
Point
Odell
being,
Beckham, not a
Browns,
factor.
Stefanski, it's one of the, to me. I think it'll be similar to like every other hire they've made the past 10 years. It's like it'll be like 2 years to be out because they can't.
Yes.
They just don't. They don't have the patience to stick with someone for more than a year. They just don't have it. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Good luck, Stefanski.
All right, so I want to get to the awards here. I want
Sure.
to run through it really quick because we're going kind of long. We haven't even gotten to the Star Wars review yet. So NFL awards. Lamar got MVP. Everybody knew they were going to give him MVP. Yeah, how'd that hype
First
go?
unanimous, or not first unanimous.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
unanimous.
0 playoff wins. How'd that go?
Second year.
Second year, 0 playoff wins. Everybody, that's the
18 starts.
the. Then they gave Harbaugh Coach of the Year. The Ravens were all this hype in the regular season. Ain't about it. Tomlin was Coach of the Year. He had literally a potato at quarterback all year.
I was going to say, I told you this earlier. I think the reason that Tomlin didn't win it was because the Steelers ended up missing the playoffs.
Who cares? I don't care.
Well, I agree with you. Like he considering what he had at quarterback, he should have gotten
To go 8-8.
To go 8-8. That was remarkable. I thought once they lost Roethlisberger, I was like, this is going to be like a 2-.
He's
two
coming
and
back
four-
next
a
year
2-14
with the
team.
robotic bionicle arm. He's throwing for 5,000 yards, 30 picks. Mark my words, he's going to be
So
bombing it.
literally Jameis Winston.
The point being
Better.
is that
You said
I
30
think
picks.
I
Yes.
think if we had a 9-7 team for the Steelers and they made at least to the wild card round, he's winning that award every time. But because they didn't, I think that's why they didn't give it to him.
Yeah. They gave Gilmore Defensive Player of the Year.
Speaking of Roethlisberger and playing for the future, should the Steelers package something together here, maybe like a TJ Watt and
No.
Okay,
No.
fine, timeout. Minka and a couple first round picks.
No, we just traded for Minka.
No. Hear me out, man. You traded for the first round pick next year, number one overall pick next year,
Patrick.
and you get Trevor Lawrence for the future.
I want Trevor Lawrence, but we got Roethlisberger.
If
We
you
can
don't
win
ha-
now.
if you
We
don't-
can
if
win
you
now.
don't- If you don't have pick one, you're not getting.
We
Trevor
can win
Lawrence.
now. We can win now.
I'm saying after next year.
Big Ben, robotic
I'm
arm.
saying after next year.
He's the Terminator.
After you've had your probably one of your last years of Roethlisberger.
How did he break his elbow again?
He-
Doing nothing.
He just threw it in. I think they should have traded for Cam Newton, and I would have played with him last
I'm just saying,
year.
though, if I'm a Steelers fan right now, I'm having the conversation in my head. You give away one safety and like 2 first round picks for like 2 subsequent years, and you're going to get Trevor Lawrence, who's by and large, the highest graded prospect to come out of the draft, for a long time.
Would I like him? Yes.
Next year.
I think those bad teams know not to get rid of that pick next year.
Okay, but wait, what if
you give them enough in a package, they'll take it.
But what if it was
Have
someone?
for Andrew Luck.
What if it was someone? What if it was a team in their division? What if it was the Browns and Browns committed to having Mayfield? Would they give up that pick to help someone else in their division?
I think if you give them if you give them enough, they will. Sure.
Whatever. It's not happening, but we'll see what happens.
Would you, as a fan, be interested in that, though?
I would not want to give up Minka or TJ Watt, no, because Big Ben is going to be good for 2 more years. That's contending. Let's contend.
So, what's your plan after Roethlisberger?
We'll find someone. We'll put. Nobody's going to trade
Carson
us.
doesn't think about the big questions.
No,
like this.
I do think about the big questions. Nobody's going to trade us. These bad teams. Who are the bad teams? Miami, the Raiders.
Okay. Here's the thing, though.
The Bengals. Well,
Raiders are a chance. Raiders are different. Okay, so if the Bengals take Burrow this year, if the Miami Dolphins take Tua this year, if who else? If the point is, people that are bad now, they're taking quarterbacks now.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lawrence, not saying he won't be a hot commodity next year because he's going to be. The point being, maybe like people at the first round pick or the first pick overall and be like, okay, well, we have our quarterback that we feel good about, and we don't need to take Trevor Lawrence. In that case, we just wasted our pick last year. It's reminiscent of what the Cardinals did. They took Rosen. What's his last name?
Yeah, Rosen.
They took him in the first round, and the next year they take Kyler Murray number 1 overall. Yeah. And so they have to get rid of Rosen now. They have too many quarterbacks in the room, and so it's similar to that. So let's say, for example, if the Dolphins are the worst team next year and they are picking number 1 overall, they already have Tua, so they're probably looking to chop that pick around. But who's going to give us the most to come here and get this pick? Because we know Trevor Lawrence is who everybody wants. And so if the Steelers call them and say, we'll give you Minka Fitzpatrick, R1 this year, a 3 this year, and a 1 next year, maybe 1 after that, or maybe a 2 after that, they're taking.
I'll take Lawrence. I like Lawrence. Great guy.
Because, like you said, you probably have 2 years left of Roethlisberger. So if you take Lawrence in 2021, let him sit for a year behind Roethlisberger, game over.
Game over.
Game.
Juju.
And he'll. I think it'll be people like Mahomes and Lawrence for the next 20 years, probably.
Oof.
I think Tua too.
Of greatness. Tua, the hip. I gotta see the hip. That's what we got to figure out.
The hips don't lie.
The hip. Thanks, Shakira. Wow. The hip, though, people are very concerned about the hip. It could be career-ending. So we're going to see how that works out for him. The point being, I think if you're potentially in play to get Trevor Lawrence, I'm taking the deal because Minka is a safety who's going to play. Safeties don't really have long track records of being great for 20 years. Quarterbacks can.
Palomalu.
Palomalu's an exception, but the point. Okay, so do you think
how long was he in the league?
Well, Minka
long enough.
He played for I think
to win my heart.
I think 12 years. Safeties don't play that long. Quarterbacks do, and quarterbacks are undisputed the most important part of a team. So I'm looking at that deal and taking a hard look and saying yes.
Okay,
to me.
I think we talked about most of everything else. You want to go on to the Star Wars review now?
Wait, I just want to say one thing. I want to say one thing.
Awards?
I don't think Kyler Murray should have got Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Who should have been?
Should have been why is his name going away from
What
me?
team?
Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, Josh Jacobs. He broke the rookie record for most rushing yards or something, right?
He didn't play the last 2 or 3 weeks. He had a few big games, but he didn't
Let's talk about Gilmore for Defensive Player of the Year.
TJ Watt.
What do you think about that, Christian?
I mean, I didn't really pay attention.
Gilmore
I thought Nick Bosa was the best defensive player, but he would have got Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I would have been better with him, TJ Watt, or Gilmore wasn't even the best corner in his division. Tre'Davious White was better than him.
Yeah, I think they're equal. They're really both really good.
Gilmore stood out more at the beginning of the season.
But I continue to say that their defense looks so good because, like you said, their division's crap. And honestly, they didn't play a lot of great teams this year. And when the ones they did, they barely beat them. So it was, I don't know. I think Watt probably was the player there. But I get why it is Gilmore. He was really good, too, as a cornerback this year. I have a bone to pick with the comeback player of the year, Tannehill. Okay.
I see why they did it, but
I get why, because he had the great run in the playoffs, and he looked like a team of destiny while the Titans were destroying everybody except for the Chiefs. The point being is that, okay, Travis Frederick, center for the Cowboys. I know it's going to be a Homer story here, but it's true. He was diagnosed 2 years ago with what's called Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is autoimmune disease where you can't, your muscles basically are killing themselves. You get really weak, and there was a point he couldn't pick up his own daughter. That's how bad it was, because he was here. He was going to drop her and kill her. So he didn't ever pick up his kids, which is awful. And then this year he came back, he started playing, and made it to a Pro Bowl. So
great story, great guy.
I think I know he doesn't play a flashy position, but it should have been him.
I mean,
That's my
Tannehill
bone to
did.
pick.
He came in
That's my
Tannehill
bone to
did.
pick.
He came in half season, brought him back to
Okay,
the
I
AFC
get
Championship
it.
game.
I get it, but what's more impressive to you?
Derek Jabba the Hutt Henry.
Wow, love the hair.
Wow.
So
say
that's my
Jabba
bone
the
to
Hutt
pick. Wow,
Henry?
Yeah,
Palomalu.
his hair is Jabba the Hutt's tail.
Oh,
We
never
got
heard that one.
Palomalu in there in the Hall of Fame. Wow.
Great guy,
Jimmy Johnson.
awesome.
Wow, thanks.
I love
Cliff
them.
Harris,
I love
wow, Cowboys.
Bill Cowher.
Yes.
No,
Okay,
no
coach.
Panthers. Maybe work on the franchise a little bit, but Greg Olson. Maybe?
still-
Luke Kuechly will probably be a first ballot Hall of Fame. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
Speaking of that, that's just kind of a bummer. He's gone now.
it is a big bummer.
I think you guys are hardcore rebuilding. You guys,
Big
McCaffrey.
time.
I think the fact that he's gone because he retired and wasn't forced out, obviously, and then Olsen's gone. It's an opportunity for you to guys
Well-
just clean house and get a new talent.
Who
and
was it?
restart.
Ryan Khalil retired last year, and then he went to the Jets.
Ah,
So,
One
like,
out.
who knows?
Sorry.
Who knows?
Hey.
Kuechly could end up at some
I
team.
think-
my
think he's
conspiracy
done.
theory is Kuechly retired. If you guys would have been contenders, like on the playoff contenders on the verge, I think you would have tried to give it 1 or 2 more years. I think he's like, have enough concussions. That's not it's not worth it to go 4
Maybe he
and
took
12.
time in the offseason to watch the Aaron Hernandez documentary and said, I don't want to have CTE anymore. So
Wow.
he said, I'm out.
What did the Florida players say, Christian? You were telling me off air.
What I just remember watching some TikTok. There was like all these controversial teams on the 2008
The-
Florida Gators
The
team,
National Championship Gators team was a mixed bag.
all led by
So-
Tim Tebow. Conspiracy?
Yes, wow, a great guy, though.
Well,
Got
Cam
married
Newton
great
was
guy.
on there.
We got married recently.
Good
Wow.
job, Tim.
Good job, Tim. Did you guys watch that?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it.
The what?
The Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. We'll talk about it after you watch
Violent guy?
it. They have a theory on that show, which we'll talk about it later on.
Conspiracy theory? Alex Jones?
How about we watch it first?
Okay.
And then we'll talk about it next show.
All right. Okay. Want to get into the Christian while you're here.
Why
The
I'm here.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker review. Obviously, the movie's been out for a month or two now. So, spoilers, ahoy!
Well, the movie has been out for.
You know,
2 months.
if a movie's been out for more than really a month or two, spoiler alerts are kind of
Christian, can
not
you
really necessary.
can you say
anymore.
spoilers, ahoy?
Spoilers ahoy!
Wow. Okay.
Welcome.
So,
Why are we saying that?
I have some reviews I wanted to read to you guys before we go
I
into
don't want
the
to hear any reviews.
epic.
Ugh.
All of it. Hashtag The Rise of Skywalker is a terrific finale that is just stuffed with so much of
Did
everything.
a Raylo fan write this?
Action, adventure,
Rose-
answers,
Oh.
humor, heart, love, and grit.
I hate this.
I spent the entire second half with tears in my eyes. A wonderful way to end the Skywalker story.
Wrong.
I realized within the first 20 minutes of hashtag Star Wars, hashtag The Rise of Skywalker, that it was the best film in this trilogy. And it kept getting better right through to the end. Thank you. Hashtag may the force be with you.
Ugh.
Who wrote
Just
these?
got done, Twitter reviewers, movie people. Just got done watching hashtag Star Wars, hashtag Rise of Skywalker. And all I can say is, wow, wow, and wow. It pays homage to all of the films and does a great job of wrapping up this epic story. Phenomenal in every way. The Rise of Skywalker is everything I wanted it to be because there's never been
we
a
stop
a
this?
Star
Can
Wars
we stop? Can we
a
stop
Star
this?
Wars movie
I don't
like
wanna hear
this
anymore.
before.
I don't want to hear anymore.
I'm tuning out.
It's dark and scary,
All right,
but
I'ma head
hopeful
out.
and beautiful. It ends the trilogy while also ending the saga as a whole. I know I'm rambling, but I worship this movie.
That's the verb this person used. Worship the
So,
film.
Christian,
Okay.
do you agree with these reviews?
I think by my reactions, clearly not.
Elijah?
This movie was
Okay.
rough.
No.
Simply, no.
I think I told you this guys earlier too, but my opinion of this film is what happened was, okay, the first, episode 7 went one way, then Last Shot took it a different way a little bit, and then basically this movie was an attempt to right the wrongs of the other movies and make it something palatable to the old-time viewers once again, and it totally bombed. Wasn't a fan. My little brother asked me, hello boss, about was it good, and I said, it's fun.
Define good.
If you look at it as its own movie, like no other connection to the Star Wars universe at all, it's a fun movie to watch. But in the sense of the
Fun.
greater Star Wars universe, it doesn't really fit anywhere. It's just so random, and so many weird things happen that doesn't make any sense, weren't explained, and I was like, I don't like it.
Okay, Elijah,
Fun to watch though. It's a fun movie. It wasn't
I would
good.
to ask you this question because I know you're not like I would call you like a hardcore, in-depth, keeps up with all the movie news and everything. No. But you're a fan of the series.
Sure.
What was this trilogy about?
This trilogy? Oh, I don't know. Well, I mean,
finding oneself.
What were they finding?
Basically, what I gathered
Great
was
question.
My overall impression looking back is they were trying to obviously, bring the Star Wars story into a new age with a new cast of people. Obviously, they want to but they try to keep people around too at the same time, which is kind of which they want you to focus on Rey and Finn and
who?
What's the guy? What's Poe? They try to introduce all these new characters in the
Don't forget
film.
Rose.
That
was my favorite thing about this movie. That was my favorite thing. They're like, oh, you guys don't like Rose? Not in the movie.
We don't need her.
Just take it out.
We don't need her. Her sister had more of an arc than Rose. I mean, at least she sacrificed.
I don't even think she had a line.
Yeah,
she?
But
she had a dramatic.
Yeah, she had a
kicked the ladder.
I would like to point out she would not have caught that trigger that fell off the thing, but
not important.
It's Star Wars. It happens sometimes. But they're trying to create these new characters that we're supposed to care about, but they did it so awfully. And this is a little niche subject, but I think one of the biggest whiffs in the whole new trilogy was not making Finn like a Jedi or something like that.
Yes, they were supposed to.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but why didn't they? Why?
Because they suck.
A stormtrooper turning into a Jedi would been so
I feel
cool.
the same way.
So cool, but they didn't do it. And they made Rey this like super intense, powerful Jedi who she almost no training, but she's kicking butt everywhere. And I don't know.
But
what was the long term goal of the trilogy? I don't know. How does it fit in the universe? I don't really know.
And that is my biggest critique of this trilogy. They had absolutely no plan going into it. They said, okay, which JJ did the first one, and JJ did therefore make a plan for the Earth, which he gave Rian Johnson and he threw away. Kathleen Kennedy, the Wicked Witch of the West, did not have a plan for this trilogy. She said, okay, yeah, Ryan, you go ahead, you go throw the franchise in the dumpster. And then, JJ, you're coming back. Go back and do what you were doing. So basically, JJ had a start and JJ had a finish. But they didn't get to do his finish because of Rian Johnson's middle. So, one of my biggest problems with this movie, Emperor Palpatine, why on earth was he in this? They said Kathleen Kennedy was the one who suggested it. I guarantee this is what happened, Elijah. They said, oh man, we had Snoke set up and we have
Hey, bud.
we have Kylo. They set Kylo up to be the bad guy. Well, that's not a very bright ending to have Kylo just be evil. So we want to turn him good. So we don't have Snoke, and we don't want to make Kylo the bad guy. So who could be the bad guy? Palpatine. That makes sense. Well, how's he in it?
What is this voice you're doing?
I don't. This is my Disney executive voice. Disney.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. So Disney. So how is Palpatine gonna be in the movie? Not important. Just say he's in it, and then the fans will like it. Oh, okay. So, sounds good. Type it up. Yeah. So, that's my biggest problem. There's absolutely no reason for Emperor Palpatine to be in this because even they didn't know how to put him in it. They just said, well, is he alive? Is he dead? We don't know. Is it Palpatine or is it a clone? We don't know. It's just, he's there. Palpatine's there. Rey's his granddaughter. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, write that down.
Good Lord, you are just ranting up the story. You need to catch a breath real quick?
Honestly, I agree though because obviously it was rumored Palpatine's coming back. We all kind of thought it was coming. And to me, I thought that was done from the beginning because to me, it made the whole Darth Vader sacrifices himself,
it completely undermined it. Completely undermined.
It totally wipes that out. So, what was the point of episode 4, 5, and 6? It just gets erased. And then, when the movie started, how did they keep him alive again? Did they ever explain that?
They never explained it.
They said he's been kept alive.
They said the dark side can lead to.
They recycled lines. They recycled lines throughout the entire movie.
That is the dumbest thing you could ever have done. I just didn't like it.
And strangely enough, that's what I thought would be my favorite part of the movie. But that'd be the most confusing and nonsensical part of the movie.
If you go back
the exposition was so bad.
If you go back and listen to every Star Wars, hot takes we've done, basically every time I've said I hate how they try to incorporate the old characters, but in the dumbest possible ways. And this is an example of that. If they knew they were ruining the series anyway, and so they said we got to get people excited to come back to the movie. So they said let's bring Palpatine back. They teased this whole laugh in the trailer, and they're like, Palpatine's coming back in some way. It was just a swing and a miss, and I don't like the idea of even trying to incorporate him in there. But I think what you said is right, though, because they didn't have a plan, and so obviously in the beginning, all you know is Kylo is the bad guy, and so And then they have Snoke. Never really explained either. Well, I guess it is because they said Palpatine was like controlling Snoke, whatever.
That was stupid too because
Yeah,
they did no exposition. They didn't even explain Snoke being like a clone. All they did was have Kylo Ren pass by some vat and it showed some floating heads of Snoke.
And he said, "I created Snoke."
It's so stupid.
Yeah, and okay, you think about 4, 5, and 6, right? Okay, the bad guy is Darth Vader, but then he's also being controlled by the Emperor. In 1, 2, and 3, he's Chancellor Palpatine, but he's calling these shots behind the scenes. But then you have like 3 different villains. You have Count Dooku, General Grievous, Darth Maul, people like that who are like the bad guy you focus on. But then there's Palpatine in the back calling the shots. They're going to repeat that in episode 7, 8, and 9. Essentially, it's like Palpatine's calling all the shots still because he's still the most powerful Sith to ever live. I didn't like it.
But that wasn't the plan.
It was a cop-out.
The plan was for Snoke to be the bad guy, or Kylo, and then they killed him, and it was like, oh, well, Palpatine.
Yeah.
And it made no sense. And my thing with Kylo is, I think everybody knew it was the worst kept secret of the world they were going to redeem Kylo. But after Last Jedi, they should not have.
No.
What they should have done is have JJ direct all 3 of them, which I'm not the biggest JJ Abrams fan in the world. But if you're going to have him do the first one, have him do the plan for all of them, or have a storyboard, right? Like Jon Favreau on The Mandalorian had the story for all of Mandalorian, and then the directors followed that storyline. Either they should have gone with JJ's story, or they should have. I don't know, but they had no plan, and that was where the problems lie.
My biggest critique of the entire trilogy is that they should have not tried to incorporate the old parts of Star Wars with the new parts. If you want to pick up this like Star Wars universe, fast forward like however long it was between like the Death Star exploding and this part of the Star Wars universe.
Well, they should have spent the first movie like reminiscing the old movies, and then after that, like everything.
Don't keep Leia around, don't keep Han around, don't keep Chewie around, don't keep anybody around.
I disagree
It's
with
a
that.
whole new thing. I think it's cool to have maybe Leia can stay around, but everybody else if you want to just don't try to make it so dependent on the old crew. And then kill them off in dumb ways, and then bring back Palpatine to explain how this is all happening. Like I said, there's no plan. They should just totally cut off one and then done something else.
That's also my problem with it is I don't think they used the original trilogy cast very well.
No.
Which I get what you're saying about you have to have new characters in it, but to me when I think of what happened after episode 6, what's the tale of 7, 8, and 9? It does center on Luke, it does center on Han, it does center on Leia. So I get that you want to have the newer generation and have them be more supporting roles.
I guess then why do we have Rey? Why do we have Finn? Why do we have
Exactly.
Kylo? Why are they there for? Okay,
you do have to have new characters.
If you want to continue the story forward with Luke, with Han, with Chewie, with Leia, that's cool. I can get on board with that. But then why is Rey here? Why is that one important?
I think that you were only going to get Harrison to do one, which he got the nice scene in Rise of Skywalker, which was one of the better scenes in the movie.
Vindication.
But you were only going to get him to do one full movie. So I'm okay with it using Han. He was good supporting role in Force Awakens. Kill him off. That's fine. They misused Luke Skywalker more than I think any character has ever been misused in the history of cinema. You have the greatest hero of probably all time. You think movie heroes. You think like Luke Skywalker, Frodo. I don't know who else.
But the worst thing about that is not the fact that they just underused him. The fact that they completely switched his character.
They changed his character.
Yes.
The first movie, barely in it. That's fine. If you want to set him up for the next one, that's fine. They completely altered and changed his character, which Rian Johnson was not the pick to do that. Rian Johnson is a good director. I saw Knives Out, great movie. But he was not a good Star Wars director because all he wants to do is subvert expectations. So you took Luke Skywalker and made him something he's not. Mm-hmm. And then all you get of him in Episode 9 is a 2-minute Force Ghost scene, which was a huge middle finger to The Last Jedi because he said, that's no way to treat a Jedi's weapon.
Best part of it.
That was the best part.
After that is when it truly went downhill. Everything after that.
I think that you had an opportunity to have Rey. I know Disney doesn't want their female lead to go to the dark side. You had an opportunity to let Rey take Kylo's hand in the last one. And then Luke in the 9th one. Try to redeem one of them. That's all he has to do, redeem one of them. And you could kill Luke. I'm okay with Luke dying. But to have Luke do absolutely nothing. Luke, basically in this trilogy, sat on an island. That's all he did. He had, even in Last Jedi, he said, "See you around, kid," to Kylo Ren. We don't get one scene between him and Kylo Ren in the next one. And they had the leaked script of Colin Trevorrow. He basically hangs out with Kylo Ren the entire movie in his script. They should have gone with that one. They brought JJ back and tried to have him basically redo the whole narrative.
Like
and
it's kind of right the wrong.
And I hate The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is my least favorite Star Wars movie ever. I would have rather them make a sequel to that movie that's more coherent with a trilogy than what they did, because they made a movie that was so rushed.
It was like flip.
Yes, flip flop flip. And you know, like
Snip, snap.
snip snap.
Snip.
I don't know.
Look, it's easy to say that Colin Trevorrow, after all the leaks and stuff, that he would have had a better movie, but you don't know.
I think it would have.
He could have had a bad movie too.
It may have been bad, but it would have been a more coherent storyline.
I'll always say that what they should have done is this. Almost like you said, use episode 7 as like the launching pad. So you have all the old characters there, get the new characters established, who they are, what their roles are, what their relationship is to everybody else, and then send them off, let them be like the new Luke, the new Leia, the new Han, the new Chewie. Don't try to keep both in this perfect world and like have them be critical throughout the entire thing.
Luke, that's why I may have said that wrong. I don't think the new trilogy should have been about them, but you're telling me we have this whole new trilogy, and really you lose the opportunity to do that in 9 because Carrie Fisher died. The original trilogy cast never on screen together. Mm-hmm. I think that's outrageous. You have to have a scene with Han, Luke, and Leia.
They were trying to have their cake and eat it too. I think they're trying to get the best of both worlds, and they just failed at it. That's what I believe.
Luke Skywalker was so just underused. And I don't know. It's just, to me, this is the biggest missed opportunity in cinematic history. They are never again going to have the opportunity to write episodes 7, 8, and 9. And you know,
they
to
could.
me,
Carrie
Fisher's gone. Carrie Fisher's dead.
They
They're not
can
going to
decide
do that.
to forget they ever happened.
That's what I'm doing.
And let someone else come in here.
I will not forget
because
7.
You get Kennedy out of there.
Here's the thing with 7. I liked 7, but the best thing 7 did was set up 8. And 8 was bad and 9 was bad. So all that to me diminishes episode 7 because 7 to me was a lot of rehashing. But it was cool because you got to see Han again and all that. It hurts, man. And Kathleen Kennedy, hot takes, official calling for Kathleen Kennedy to step down.
I think
means nothing.
You've done that multiple times on
Yes.
the program.
Probably.
That's nothing new.
Nothing.
But, rumors going around, George wants back. George, everybody loves
sure
The
he's
Mandalorian,
pissed.
which we can kind of merge this into the Mandalorian Season 1 review. Mandalorian was great.
Mandalorian,
they have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni wrote the story for the whole season, and you have different directors that plug in and do.
Deborah Chow
did great.
Pause on that real quick. Before we go into The Mandalorian, though, I have a couple bones to pick with a couple random scenes in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, my first one is, why is it whenever they're on that planet with the Sith, what is that planet called? Like the Sith are in the layers?
Exegol.
Whenever they're there and they're fighting that huge fleet, and they're depending on them to go, the Millennium Falcon to go out there and get the help from around the galaxy. Why is it that whenever the help shows up, it's like the entire sky is full of ships, like the entire galaxy shows
Because
up?
they wanted to have a huge scene, just everything.
I thought it was
Lando was also great in the movie.
Much.
I liked having Lando. Why is Lando only in the 9th one? Why wasn't Lando in 7 and 8?
Yeah. Okay, and then second thing I didn't like is after they've beaten Palpatine in like the whole First Order thing, and they're on that celebrating at the Rebel base and not Rebel base, the Resistance base and all that stuff. They're hanging out, chilling. No one's kissing, right? Random cutscene, 2 lesbians kissing.
Wow, progressive.
Cut away right away. I'm like, why was that necessary at all?
Thanks, Disney.
Why do we have that in here? Why is that in here? That was weird.
I have a few issues with some
And then,
of the scenes too.
I think this is what drove me nuts the most is just a cap on this ugly bottle of at the end whenever she's burying the lightsaber. I hate sand. And she's burying lightsabers in the sand at Luke Skywalker's old house. And then someone's like, "Who are you?" She goes, "I'm Rey."
Oh my gosh,
Skywalker.
That's not how.
I was like, "That's so dumb." Luke Skywalker had to embrace the fact that he was Darth Vader's son, and that was critical to his character.
She should have been Palpatine.
She should have said, "I recognize that my father or my grandfather was the most evil Sith of all time, but I am choosing a different path." But that would have been great for her to be like, "I'm Palpatine, but I am not my grandfather," kind of thing. I think that was a whiff right there. Why? She's not a Skywalker. She's not.
And I think that's lame too to have Ben. If you want to have Ben Solo turn, that's fine. But I think that the way they did it,
they made out. Wow.
Yeah, Raylo, whatever. So
you genocide. You did genocide on an entire planet. Let me make out. Like,
2 guys got up and left the theater when Raylo happened.
I don't blame him.
But like Ben Solo, you think he's the last Skywalker? I think they could have found a way to not kill him. I think they could have because the end battle
they
to
didn't want to
me
find a
was
way to
kind of
not kill
lame.
him.
So you finally have Ben turn good. Here they are. Ray and Kylo team up. Emperor just yeets him off a cliff. Out of here. So then you have this whole big buildup. Rey has to fight the Emperor. All she does is deflect lightning at him and he dies. Which 10 minutes earlier he said, "Kill me and I'll possess you," which that's not canon. And so she kills him and he didn't possess her. I don't know because he killed
life
himself.
Force or whatever.
Stupid.
But what I don't get is
wait, pause.
Okay, just stop.
The stupid. They said like that whole like Force heal thing was like so rare in the cinematic, like in Star Wars universe. Like one Jedi like every 1,000 years had that. They had 2 in the same movie. That's so dumb. I was like, what are we doing here?
And that's the thing.
Let's get on the same page.
If Palpatine's plan is, I know you two are a Force dyad. My plan is to bring you two together and suck the Force out of you, or whatever inappropriate pedophile thing he wants to do to him, and then he'll become whole again. That's fine. They come together. Oh, I didn't know this was going to happen. Guess I'm back now. Lazy writing. Chris Terrio, guy that wrote this, also wrote Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. I have no clue why Disney would hire him to do this. But then, so that's another thing. Rey's laying there, and all these Force ghosts start talking to her. It would have been cooler to see them, for one. But two.
Oh, they should have put Hayden Christensen in there.
Half these Force ghosts that are talking to her didn't have lines in the prequels. How are we supposed to know who they are? So it's like it's Ayla Secura, cool Jedi, never had a line.
Lines in the Clone Wars.
How am I supposed to know from listening to that that's her? Also, they had established very well that the only people that had known how to become Force ghosts are Qui-Gon, who only knew how to do it in voice, Luke, Darth Vader, Yoda, and you're gonna have all these random obscure Jedi talk here. It doesn't make sense.
A lot of
the Emperor's plan was also strike me down, and I'll possess you.
Let hate consume you.
If he would have never told her that, she would have done it. But he told her, and she was like, "Oh no, we're not gonna do it."
You know, he also could have just stopped doing the lightning thing at her when he was getting his face blown off. But instead, he just like.
I just think that's such a lame way for it to end too. And then
there's a lot of
thing I had to grip on?
shortcomings.
Oh, the Knights of Ren didn't do anything.
Oh, I hate that one the worst.
And then Kylo Ren hit him with the shrug. Force teleporting. I hate force teleporting. Yeah. So stupid. It takes the force. You know, back in the good old days, 1977 to 1983, the original Star Wars. The force used to be I can push things, I can pull things, I can sense things.
I can force choke.
Now force choke. Now I can teleport things and have a lightsaber fight in two totally different locations.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Disney took it too far.
Also, they're giving Baby Yoda the whole force heal thing.
They did that solely just like
Yeah.
they released that like 2 days before the movie came out. They did that solely just to show like, hey, force healing's a thing. So if you see this in the movie, don't be shocked.
Don't be surprised.
Just wait 10 years when we have Star Wars Episode 11. Is that 10? Rey's got at School of Jedi and her new baby Kylo Ren.
I'll just never get over how bad this trilogy was.
It was just a mishit.
It was just
It's the biggest missed opportunity.
Because
and all they had to do was have a plan.
We have the benefit of modern technology, modern editing, modern CGI. It'd have been so great to have like a good storyline with this great new technology we have, and
do Luke right. All they had to do was
how
do
much
Luke
merchandising I've wasted my money on that I will continue to waste my money on, but not happily.
It just feels like a missed opportunity because you got just make a plan. That's all you gotta do. You look at the Mandalorian, Favreau and Filoni doing a great job.
Who's to say even if they had a plan, it still would have ended up good?
I think if they would have had a plan, it would at least been a story.
At least coherency. That'd have been great. Like,
coherency, but it could have still been.
The Sith dagger thing was so stupid too. So it's supposed to be an ancient relic. The Death Star blew up 20 or 30 years before this. That's not an ancient relic. And so she has to stand in the exact place where this little compass will come out and have an arrow.
I didn't understand that.
It was stupid. It
because
didn't make sense.
I didn't really understand that.
What did you understand?
I didn't understand of it.
Yeah,
I had a problem with the whole thing when they supposedly killed off Chewie. I didn't like that. This is like a movie issue kind of thing, a story thing. They didn't let that set in long enough. Mm-hmm. They made it so emotional, and then they brought it back like 2 minutes later.
I was so pissed when that happened. I was like, they didn't.
Yeah, I know, but
I was so mad.
I was mad, but I was like, okay, this is pretty bold of them, though. But then, like 2 minutes later, they're like, oh, JK.
And I thought it was.
Hey, the one thing I did like though was them explaining why Leia has the Force. I thought that was.
Yeah,
they kind of detailed that, like, hey, she
used to train. Yeah,
there were good parts.
But then
I didn't think this movie was garbage.
She denied that path because she saw like the havoc it creates. She's like, I'm not going to be a Jedi, but she has the Force, which is cool. They explained it.
So does that make you like Superman Leia?
At least it's explained. I don't know if I guess
they could have done it better.
They could have done it better, but it's explained now, so I appreciate it.
And the whole thing too with the I lost what I gotta say, Christian. The movie gave me AIDS, and now I can't remember.
What are you trying to say? So the whole thing was something
about them not planning. Also, so the last movie, your parents are no one. They're no one. I'm fine. If you want to make Rey a no one, that's fine. But then they tried to act like Kylo gave her a half truth. Lazy writing, Chris Terrio. They want to act like they gave her. Your parents were nobody, but because they chose to be. I'm like, you did. That's not how that works. And it's like, you're a Palpatine. Dun, dun, dun. It's like they went so extreme. They're like, okay, fans didn't like that she was a no one. So what's the most extreme someone she could be? A Palpatine. Yes. That's good. Write that down. Yeah. So I think that it's time to give the franchise back to George. My call to action, George Lucas.
I think it's time to just leave the
could've
franchise alone. I'll leave it
A
where
thought
it
I'm
was.
having, about how they could have done Rey better. Make her nobody. Just
Yeah.
How did they find Anakin Skywalker? Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan just chilling out on Tatooine, and they came across this kid, and they took a blood sample, and they read because you remember Qui-Gon sitting there, he took the prick of his finger and was checking his blood, and they're like, oh my god, he has the highest level we've ever seen of a kid before, and that's how he got his start. Why does everyone have to be the super intense, he is the son of this person, and
That's the thing.
he's the granddaughter of this person?
Yeah, not everyone should have to be
just make her
super
someone
powerful.
who has the Force.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do. Is say she's on a planet, and she helped this guy escape, and they eventually found their way to the Rebel base, or the Resistance base, and that's all it was. And they figured out she had the Force.
And I think Kylo Ren was the best character they created.
Oh,
He's the
for
only
sure.
one they attempt to give a story arc to. And I thought his ending was fine. It could have been better. He should have been a Force ghost at the end. I don't know why.
Everyone saw it coming.
I don't
That's
know
the
why
thing.
it was just Luke and Leia standing there. Put Anakin in there. Put Ben in there. The Skywalker
I would
family.
say,
She
I
would've
guess the
known
only
who
reason
Anakin
that they
was.
probably wouldn't give Kylo a Force ghost was because at no point in the series, was he ever someone you liked? I guess, in terms of his Jedi story, quote unquote, was he was training with Luke, and then he killed everyone and became a Sith. You know what I'm saying? I guess.
Well, technically not a Sith. He never.
He became the dark side.
Yeah.
At least I guess we know this now ex post facto because of episode 1, 2, and 3. But Darth Vader was Anakin Skywalker at one point. He was a Jedi. He was really powerful on the Jedi side. You learn to like him as a Jedi. Then also he turns because he falls prey to Palpatine on the dark side. But then in the end, he's vindicated because he killed Palpatine.
Which that's fine. I'm fine with that, echoing that story arc. But I don't know, the whole thing
Do
with
it
him.
better.
The whole
Main
thing with
point.
him kissing Rey, and then he just falls down and dies. That's when the guy got up and left. I laughed super hard. He just got up and left. Christian had some choice words after the movie when some fans started clapping.
Well, I just said that.
Some people clap for this movie, and Christian
I
chose.
They were lambs.
I
to the
said
cosmic
that. I said it's
slaughter.
probably the same people that clap for Raylo or whatever. And I said
They're sheep.
Yeah, I said.
Christian had a rage
course.
moment.
The whole thing was a rage moment for me. Like I said, now I can't remember truly all the parts I liked of it, but I did.
I liked Lando.
I liked about 66% of it. After she left the island to where Luke was, I did not.
I just
enjoy
wish Luke was in it more. You could have him talk, just not even a ton, just talking to Kylo. Hey man, you know what you're doing is wrong. Hey man, because in the end, Kylo Ren turned good, basically when his mom with her last breath just said Ben, and then he got stabbed, and then he talked to his dad in a hallucination, which is fine. I thought it was okay, but
see, to me, I don't want to be like those toxic.
I think
Star Wars
Luke
fans.
could have helped to win him back.
Look,
a little
we've
more.
already gone over this. Luke was a shortcoming. Yes, you beat the dead horse there. But anyway, I'm saying,
gonna beat it till the day I die.
I'm just saying. I'm at the point after Last Jedi, I was
Sounds
mad.
so wrong.
I was mad that they what they did in Last Jedi. Now I'm just I'm complacent. It's whatever.
I don't blame JJ. I
It's
blame
whatever.
Kathleen Kennedy and their story. But
Hey,
there's rumor. I have a bold prediction. I think George Lucas. You saw the pictures on set of Mandalorian holding Baby Yoda with Favreau, with Filoni.
That just means he comes back and.
I think George is going to direct an episode of Mandalorian season 2,
Okay.
and it will be the best thing ever.
What?
I think the fans want him. I think that Kathleen Kennedy, after she destroys Indiana Jones 5, I think she wants to retire. Her contract will be up. They'll probably go with Favreau and Filoni. They need to let George be. George wants to come back, but only if he can have full control. Give it back to George Lucas. We need George Lucas.
I'm so pissed that the movie.
You don't
industry-
want George
No,
back?
of course I want George back, but at this point it's just what are they gonna do?
I was gonna say,
what
I'm
is
just so
gonna
pissed at
happen?
the movie industry right now. All they can do is remake old movies or
Yes.
continue
Yeah.
on old trilogies. Don't touch Indiana Jones. Don't touch anything else. Just make up new
No,
stuff.
you have to
can't
wait
come up
till
with original
you have to wait
screenplay
till
anymore.
Indiana Jones. Well, Indiana Jones 5, directed by Chris Terrio and written by Chris Terrio, where new female lead Iowa
Jones.
What's the bad guy? The Hitler guy?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever that guy's last name is. She's gonna be his granddaughter, and then
wow!
Indy's gonna
She
die.
was born from the Ark of the Covenant.
Indy's gonna die, and she's gonna bury his whip in a snake pit because he hates snakes. And then someone's gonna say, "Oh, who are you, little lady?" And she's
Shia
gonna go,
LaBeouf comes back.
I'm Iowa Jones, and then that's how Indiana Jones is gonna end. Thanks, Kathleen Kennedy.
But at least we got Mandalorian. That's the one good thing
They'll
in the Star
ruin it
Wars
eventually.
universe.
In
right
due
now.
time, they will ruin it.
I enjoy
Not with
Mandalorian.
Favreau in charge. I love Baby
man,
Yoda.
Darksaber,
Baby Yoda's
wow.
great. Yo, Mandalorian season 1 was really good. We got to wrap it up here. I got to get
Yeah.
some Laka. I'm getting heartburn from talking about this. Mandalorian season 1 good.
So old.
Looking forward to Christian. I'm pretty old. I'm about to be 22. What do you think? I'm about to be 22 and married. the osteoporosis
Right, we
is
get
about to
it.
kick
We get
in.
it.
We get it.
Like,
We get it.
You're
Big
more mature
flex.
than we are. We get it.
Whoa,
We get it. We get it. We get it. It's good.
All right,
That's
so
cool.
looking
All
forward to Mandalorian. The dark saber. That's pretty cool that they put that in there.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was at first. I did some research.
I sent you the video.
And yeah, I figured
Also,
out.
season 7 Clone Wars coming out soon.
Yes, I'm gonna watch that.
February
Should
or
be good.
something.
Well, Christian, thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
down
pal.
and
Yes.
ranting about Star Wars.
Well,
and
I got a few words in. It was
Yeah.
mainly you.
About Star Wars.
Yes.
bum 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 bum.
If you would like my opinions, you guys can come find me. Yes.
I like the Mandalorian theme song.
The Mandalorian theme song is good, very catchy.
It's very-
Boom, boom, boom.
It's very good. Sorry, stop it there. Sorry.
All right, well, Elijah, where can they find you?
Elijah_stacks. Social media.
Karak323. You don't care, do you?
Always welcome new followers.
Where are you at?
Instagram, it's c.hamlet4.
All right, email us at hottakesshow@gmail.com. Tell us what you thought about Star Wars.
Gross.
I'll try to get rid of my heartburn. Bum 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 bum.
Take some Tums.
bum.
Don't get a
Copyright.
copyright strike.
Bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum.
Copyright.